Should you be spending your XRP on stuff, or should you be saving it because it might be worth a fortune one day? That's what I'm going to be talking about today. Before we get going, if you would, please delicately tap the thumbs up. Don't smash it, though. You're going to break the darn thing. And subscribe. I would definitely appreciate it if you would subscribe or consider it. Think about it. This is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and nothing that I'm about to say here is financial advice, just to be clear up front. Okay, I always want to say it at least once per video. But, what got me thinking about this was a tweet from Tiffany Hayden yesterday, and I'll just read it. Yesterday, some people commented that spending XRP to buy beer was stupid. If everybody holds and nobody uses XRP for anything, it will become worthless. Anybody who expects to ride on your coattails for eternity and encourages others to do the same is a low-life moocher. And so I wonder what her opinion is. No, I totally get where she's coming from. I really do. Okay, I understand people that have opposing views on this. I actually do understand it, and I kind of take a different view on it, perhaps to some degree. So let me kind of flesh this thought process out for you here. I do understand the fear of spending your XRP, and then, oh gosh, a day, a week, a month later, whatever, it skyrockets, and if you just hadn't bought that beer, then, it'd be worth a fortune, 12-fold or 20-fold or whatever it is, because you never know how big the next bull run's going to be or when it's going to come, assuming it is going to come, which I think it will. And so, to me, it's not a big deal, though, because whatever amount of XRP you want to spend, if you do want to buy stuff with XRP in your daily life, go for it. That's awesome. I like that. You're supporting the ecosystem. That's awesome. And that's, I think, in part where Tiffany's coming from. Perfectly reasonable stance. Just replenish whatever you spend. Okay? Use your fiat currency and buy more XRP if that's what you want to do, and if you want to make sure that you always have the same roughly XRP balance. And, and fine. What if you spend some and then the next day it rockets and, and then you miss out because you did spend a little bit XRP and you didn't replenish yet? Okay, fine. Small risk, big freaking deal, okay? That's the risk you take if you want to spend some XRP. But the reality of it is, if you're pretty diligent about that, I don't see it as much of a problem. Now, another thing that I kind of briefly mentioned in another video, kind of, I think it intertwines with this. What's adoption going to look like? And I said something along the lines of the first use case that was ever thought of for a cryptocurrency. Satoshi Nakamoto, peer-to-peer currency. No central authority. That's the initial use case for a cryptocurrency. And I cited that although it's the first use case that anyone came up with for a cryptocurrency, I don't think it's going to be the first to receive mass adoption. I think more likely than not, you're going to see perhaps it will be Ripple's use case of utilizing XRP as a bridge currency. Now, here's the cool thing, though. So here's the way I think that this is going to be played out, because I would love to be able to use XRP for money. More liquidity would help, and less volatility would help also. I think. I mean, because if XRP were at a point where it were not volatile, and at some point I think it would happen, even if it takes decades to get there. I don't know how long it's going to take. It'd be nice to not have to worry about replenishing, what you're spending. I'd love it to be so stable that it's just like as stable as a reliable fiat currency, to whatever extent you can call fiat currencies reliable, because they tend to not last very long historically. But so, I think if we can just get the adoption rolling on this side, get it rolling as a bridge currency, if Coil finds success with XRP, let the crypto asset class develop over time, and then you will see some cryptocurrencies reasonably be used as money. I think you will see it. So I think it's okay to hold it, especially for me. It's like to use XRP as money for me, or any cryptocurrency, not just XRP. What problem is that solving for me? Because I live in a first world country, and the dollar works pretty well right now. I understand there's not instant settlement, and yes, I'd love to live in a world where you've got tons of liquidity within crypto assets and you don't need fiat currency. That sounds all awesome. But realistically, it doesn't solve a problem for me right now. Would I prefer to do it? Yes, and there are a few reasons. Instant settlement, I really do like the idea of not having to have a central authority. But I think that's going to come in time, and so I want to do this. I'm kind of holding off because, if anything, it would be a little bit of an inconvenience to have to replenish my XRP supply if I were actually using it. And also, it's not easy to buy stuff for my daily life with XRP yet. I think it will be in the future. And so I totally get the stance that, like, don't call somebody stupid. Like, if you think it's stupid to buy beer or anything else, I don't know, I'd say kindly suggest maybe rethink your position, especially if you understand that people that are doing this, they probably are replenishing their supply of XRP. It's very easy to do. You can even set up automated purchases. Actually, I know you can do it in Uphold. I haven't done that. I just manually do it each time I want to buy more XRP. But you can set up. You could probably do it daily if you wanted to, and then you really don't have to worry a lot. So I don't know. That's my two thoughts on it. I'm not using XRP in my daily life. I'm really not. To me, it's a part of what I'm doing for investment. I'm not even counting on XRP as like my retirement plan. Like, I'm not doing that. It's just a little side asset, and if it does well, that's awesome. I'm counting on saving money the traditional, boring way. Investing in the stock market. S&P 500. Index funds. So that's the boring route I'm going. But I'm so excited about XRP that, yeah, of course, I'm regularly putting a certain amount of my money into it, and I'm going to keep doing that. But, hey, all good things in time. I think at some point, especially with, for instance, Wheats and Wind, in his XR Payments app, which I talked about in a really recent video, I think that's just the coolest thing. Merchants are going to be able to accept XRP anywhere. And I think as you see adoption over time, man, I want to get to the point where it's easy for me to buy stuff with XRP, and I would don't get me wrong, like, I would like to do it. I'm just saying in the short term here right now, it would be for me a little bit more of like an annoyance. Do you know where I'm coming from? So I'm all for it. Totally get where Tiffany's coming from. And I tend to pretty well agree with her. It's just, for me, I hope that I'm not thought of as a moocher, because it's more like I'm here and I'm promoting the crypto asset class, and I'm a proponent for XRP, very vocal about it, and hopefully that's a help to the degree. So I don't think I'm a moocher, and I hope not that she would. I'm not claiming that she's saying that about me, okay? But beyond that, I'm totally on board with getting to a point where we can use it as money. So what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on this? That's just my little spiel on it. But feel free to drop some comments below. I definitely would love to read some other viewpoints on this. So do you agree with me, or do you think I'm off base somewhere? Let me know. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, so do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea.